Welcome, everybody. It's the holiday season. Things are slowing down a little bit, which means time for TV, at least for me. And I've been looking for a new show, and Steve is trying to sell me on Skeleton Crew. And there's
Mhm.
currently 3 episodes out. I think the fourth episode is about to come out this week.
Yeah.
Why should I care about these kids? What's going on? The pitch, I was like, wait, is this one of these like we're lost in the Star Wars universe? We have to talk to a Wookiee to like help us get out. Like everyone's saying, like, no, this is actually good and fun.
Mhm.
What's going on?
Well, I mean,
I want to like it.
the villain is a Shostavan and Wolfman from Star Wars CCG Premiere, so that should be all you
Okay,
need.
that's pretty
No,
cool.
no. So this is the most fun Star Wars Disney Plus show. I am after 3 episodes. It can all change, but so far this is the most fun. Now, like everybody else, I love Mandalorian, especially season 1 and 2, and really like Andor. But Andor I can't exactly describe as a fun show. It's like a super heavy and dark show. This is like the purest Star Wars fun I've experienced in a long time.
I mean,
But yeah,
it looks
let me.
fun.
It is so. It is. Obviously, the pitch of this was like Goonies or E.T. meets Star Wars, and the first episode I wasn't totally sold on it. Like, I don't. I'm not. It's trying to be movie mostly spoiler free, but they're like kind of living in an '80s suburbia planet, and like this is a little too on the nose. I don't really know what's going on here, but after 3 episodes, particularly in the third episode, you get a sense of why the planet is the way it is there, and it has some really interesting, deeper Star Wars canon connections that I think are going to go into some really, really cool directions as this show goes on. So, yeah, I mean, okay. So the premise of the show is that there's these 4 kids who are living in the sort of boring planet in the Star Wars universe. They go to school, they come home, their parents are kind of like distant and preoccupied with boring jobs. And I don't know. This is like very light spoilers for the first episode. It's in the trailer, but they stumble upon a starship, and they get launched out into space, and they have an adventure. And Jude Law plays the one main adult character in the show who they sort of stumble upon early on in the show, and he's pretty fun and charismatic. And yeah, that's part of the adventure. So I won't say much more than that.
I mean, Jude Law being in Star Wars is just kind of those are like a sentence I never thought I would make.
Yeah.
I guess for me, like a lot of my faith was kind of shaken with some of the creative decisions with the Accolade. Like I actually liked the Accolade, but I thought that there was just like a little too much going on, and then the decision not to continue it. So like, this is fun, light, something you can kind of delve into, maybe watch with a spouse or kids.
I'm watching with my kids. My kids are 5 and 8, 5 and 7.5, almost 8, and they love it. Like neither of my kids have seen E.T. or the Goonies, so they're not sort of like get it. The nostalgia thing has no connection with them. This is just for them, kids doing fun Star Wars stuff, and they're really into it.
I will say that the planet being like an 80s planet, it feels like it's a direct like attack on us. It's like, hey, were you born in the 80s and then came up in the 90s with special edition and then episode 1 stuff?
Right. No doubt. Yeah.
It's like guys in their late 30s or 40s. It's like
and I should say one of the kids is an Ortolan, as all you Star Wars CGI players know, is the little blue elephant species that Max Rebo is from Return of the Jedi, playing the piano with So one of the kids is a sort of I think he's in a costume with some CGI added to them. He's a little blue elephant, an Ortolan.
This does sound kind of fun and cute and light. I think it's important to balance your diet, and I do subscribe to the general theory that there can be a Star Wars for everyone kind of thing. Like Andor is not going to have the same audience as this.
No.
That's okay. It's okay to have the heavier tone stuff, and I don't think it dilutes the brand by having something for everyone.
No, and the kids are actually pretty good actors in it. I thought they'd be. So this show, like at first, I was not going to watch this, at least not initially. The trailer I thought looked bad, and it had no promotion. Like where I live, usually the Star Wars streaming shows are on like a bus. Instead of a bus, when you drive by, you'll see that, or something. But they're like no promotion of the show. One Lego set got dumped like 5 months ago that I don't know of anybody who bought it among my Lego friends. So I was like, I don't know what the deal is, but it's really good.
I vaguely knew that this was happening. I feel like I saw a thing where it's like first 2 episodes are dropping Tuesday. I was like, wait, what? What is this show called? And this was the show from a Disney like the next 3 years preview like slide
a long
patch.
time ago. Right. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this one's out. I had just lost track of that. And now, anyway, so this might be something to check out. So they have 3 episodes now. I think by the time this video comes out, there'll be 4 episodes.
Probably, yeah.
And
each of the episode 1, the first episode is okay. I think it's good, but not great. 2 is better, and then 3 is even better. So at least give it 2 episodes. I think it's worth that. And it's set sometime after Return of the Jedi, in the first few years after, so it's roughly the same time frame as Mandalorian. So I think some of these characters, there's potential for them to continue on in later stuff. I think they're thinking about trying to tie all this stuff together in sort of like the early New Republic era with like a movie or something later on.
Which, minus the 3 sequel films, I'm trying to think what to call those. I think that's a really cool era to explore.
Yeah, I think so too.
The sort of chaos of, hey, an empire collapsed. What do you do now? How do you have normal life after your government's collapsed? What does that
exactly.
look like? So I think it's a really fun period to kind of explore and to poke around with. Okay, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm gonna go
check it out.
Load up Disney Plus later and try this out. It's just, I feel like Disney on the marketing of this might have gotten burned from the huge loss they took with Accolade, which I think was fine.
Yeah.
They maybe just decided to undermarket.
And Ahsoka people didn't love it the way I think people thought they would. I think people, Clone Wars is beloved, Rebels is beloved. They're like, oh, then obviously Ahsoka's a slam dunk. But I liked Ahsoka well enough. I thought it was kind of a little bit campy, kind of over the top Star Wars romp. It felt a little bit like the 90s, like a middling 90s expanded universe novel.
Can I throw out a hypothesis to close? I actually think Andor broke the brains of serious Star Wars fans, because people that were like, my favorite movies are the old trilogy, and then they saw Andor, they're like, I want to learn everything there possibly can be to about the ISB, right? Like I just want to and suddenly the bar was raised, and we kind of forgot that Star Wars is inherently campy, right? That is part of the brand, and you suddenly were like, this is about it's a spy thriller in a really crazy universe, and also a series of more serious video games, whether that's the what's the one, Fallen Order, right? They were very popular, and I think that it changed the perspective, and people started thinking that wait, why is this kind of silly? Star Wars was never silly. Star Wars has always been kind of silly. And that's what
I think that's right. Andor, I like Andor a lot, but I think it made people judge Mando season 3 and Ahsoka harsher than they otherwise would have, because Andor has this elevated storytelling. It's not The Wire exactly, but it's approaching something like that, or early Game of Thrones in terms of its quality. But it's not without Andor is not the only thing. That show doesn't really have sort of the alien and creature design is not there. It's it's very human centric, Empire, Rebels, Cold War kind of feel. There's other modes of Star Wars that are fun too.
Yeah, I think people just saw that and they realized that they needed that, and that's what they'd been missing from the Star Wars pie, if you will. So, anyways, well, it's fun to have this new edition. Maybe I'll report back when we finish the season. We'll do something.
That'd be fun.
New year, what this actually ended up being. But right now, if you're interested, check it out. If you want a season 2, maybe watch it twice, because it seems like it's not doing well in the streaming verse.
So far, it hasn't gotten the numbers. Maybe that because that promotion, the marketing has been a little weak for it.
Yeah, but word of mouth is huge for this kind of stuff. So I'm going to check it out, and we'll report back in a couple weeks after we both finish the show. So any final thoughts here on Skeleton Crew, the Star Wars universe, all the people on this poster, Jude Law?
Jude Law, Shastavan Wolfman, a droid with one eye, and you can barely see it, but it's like an owl cat creature off of near Jude Law's right shoulder. It's just a cool alien.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and we will catch you later.